Dad, this banana is too big, I can't finish it. Greetings, everyone. I'm Emma, currently 24 years old. I reside with my father, having been an orphan from a young age. My mother passed away due to a severe illness, leaving my father and me to rely on one another. My childhood unfolded under the loving and dedicated care of my father, William. He assumed both parental roles, striving to fill the void left by my mother's absence. Life unfolded in a serene and predictable manner until a pivotal day that altered everything. This transformation began as I turned 18 and embarked on my university journey. This marked a significant milestone, symbolizing my transition into adulthood and a step into the broader world. I vividly recall the confusion I felt leaving my cherished home, stepping away from my father's protective embrace to confront a new life filled with challenges. At that time, I was an unassuming girl, unacquainted with the intricacies of love or relationships. My spirit was unblemished, eager to explore and absorb all the novel experiences university had to offer. The initial days brimmed with novelty and excitement. I befriended individuals from diverse backgrounds, exchanging unforgettable stories and creating lasting memories. Amidst the bustling lecture halls and the lively dormitory, bouts of intense homesickness would strike. Thoughts of my father would evoke an indescribable yearning within me. His image, caring for me and recounting tales of my mother during tranquil evenings, his eyes filled with sorrow yet brimming with love, constantly replayed in my mind. Everything seemed to progress smoothly until an unforgettable day arrived. That moment steered my life toward a new trajectory, reshaping everything I believed. It was not merely a milestone in my journey to adulthood, but also a profound challenge to my existing beliefs. I was no longer the naive girl who only understood joy and simplicity. From that day forward, I embarked on a path filled with complex emotions and unfamiliar situations. However, I found companionship among fellow university newcomers. They differed from me, possessing knowledge of nightlife, thrilling parties, and an understanding of social dynamics. We shared a modest dormitory room, navigating tight quarters with laughter and endless stories. Initially, their world was foreign to me, and I remained shy and reserved. Yet, over time, I found myself increasingly drawn to their activities. Weekend evenings transformed our room into a hub of activity. My friends adorned themselves with makeup, chose their finest outfits, and vibrant music resonated from their phones. The excitement in their eyes piqued my curiosity, and gradually, I was swept up in it. Their animated discussions about parties and new experiences made me reluctant to remain an outsider. Initially, I participated out of curiosity, seeking to experience something entirely new. I still remember the mix of thrill and uncertainty when I first visited a bar with them. The room was alive with flashing lights, pulsating music, and lively chatter. Standing alongside them, I sipped a cocktail my friend offered, savoring the gentle bitterness as it lingered on my palate. Such nights soon became a familiar routine. From being a mere observer, I immersed myself in the vibrant atmosphere, joining my friends in dances filled with joy and endless laughter. I also learned to drink from them. Initially, it was just small sips, but gradually I grew accustomed to drinking full glasses without hesitation. I recall the late nights when we returned to our dormitory, laughter echoing as we recounted the amusing events of the evening, our steps unsteady yet joyful. Experiencing freedom and rebellion infused my life with an exhilarating sense of vitality. The innocent girl who had first stepped into university was replaced by someone who had crossed boundaries she never imagined. Through the whirl of parties, I gradually came to understand love, a concept that had once seemed nebulous. It happened at a classmate's birthday party, where I encountered someone new. His smile and eyes sent my heart racing, and for the first time, I felt the genuine spark of love. Late into the night, we exchanged long messages, sharing personal stories and dreams of the future. Love embraced me unexpectedly, transforming everything in a captivating instant. My first year of university flew by in a blur of vibrant, non-stop days. I realized I had undergone a significant transformation since arriving. From a timid girl focused solely on studies and simple dreams, I evolved into someone who relished endless fun, knew the bittersweet taste of wine, and felt the music's passion resonate in my heart. As the first year concluded, we parted ways, each carrying a piece of shared memories and impressions. The dormitory grew quieter as my roommates left for summer vacation, everyone returning home. The sudden silence, devoid of laughter, late-night outings, and long conversations in the dark, made me aware of how accustomed I had become to that lifestyle. Everything shifted upon my return home. As I entered, I found my father engrossed in watching TV. His eyes were fixed on the screen, oblivious to my arrival. Seeing him, I mischievously decided to sneak up and surprise him. Carefully, I tiptoed closer, ensuring I made no noise as I approached him. Just as my hand was about to tap his shoulder, he spun around, swiftly grabbing my hand and pulling me into a hug. "You're back without telling me," he said warmly. We both erupted in laughter, the room filled with surprise and happiness. I gazed at him, curious about how he had known I was approaching. When I asked, he pointed to a mirror positioned opposite the TV. Turning around, I saw the reason. The mirror had reflected my every move, revealing my plan from the start. I burst into laughter, both embarrassed and amused by this revelation. Dad joined in, his eyes glowing with the warmth and love I had always known. After our laughter subsided, I mentioned that I needed to retrieve my suitcase and head to my room. He nodded, his gentle smile unwavering. As I went to collect my luggage, the peace and warmth of home enveloped me, a place brimming with memories and my father's love. The afternoon air was calm but far from dull, as my father's presence enlivened everything. That evening, we shared dinner in the tranquil ambience of the house. I recounted memories and experiences from the past year at school. We laughed together, shared humorous tales, and occasionally he gave a wry smile, looking at me with affectionate eyes. In that moment, I suddenly realized how handsome my father was. Despite approaching 50, he maintained a youthful physique. His dedication to exercise and the demands of his daily routine preserved his muscular frame. Clad in a tank top, his strong muscles were on display. I noticed his beauty and strength with a newfound appreciation. Caught in this thought, I found myself staring, unable to look away, until my father's voice broke the spell. "What are you thinking?" he asked. Startled, I smiled and shook my head. "Nothing," I replied. We exchanged knowing smiles, both immersed in the warmth of the moment. "You've changed a lot in just a year at school," my father remarked, and I nodded, smiling. "We're all growing up, Dad," I replied. That night, as I lay in bed, the image of my father's strong form lingered in my mind, leaving me puzzled. I never imagined these thoughts would be so persistent, yet they stayed with me even as I tried to sleep. The following day, the midday heat was relentless. Sitting in the living room, I felt sweat trickling down my back, and no amount of fanning seemed to help. Every breeze that passed quickly vanished in the oppressive warmth. William, the man I couldn't help but admire as he worked, had left early to attend to business and only returned around noon. The heat seemed to stretch time, making my skin feel as though it might ignite. Finally, I sought relief in the bathroom. The cool water cascaded over my skin, washing away the heat and frustration, offering a soothing reprieve. The sensation was so refreshing that I momentarily forgot my surroundings, even neglecting to close the bathroom door. The gentle caress of the water eased the fiery tension in my heart. With closed eyes, I basked in the relaxation, the sound of water mingling with my steady breaths. My thoughts wandered to moments spent watching William through the window, his focused movements captivating. Since starting university, my admiration for him had morphed into an intense, unnameable feeling. Suddenly, a strange sensation prompted me to open my eyes. I felt watched. Turning my head, I froze as I met William's gaze. He had returned unnoticed and stood at the door, eyes locked on me through the ajar door. His expression was a mixture of surprise and something indescribable. My heart raced, my legs immobile. Breathing became erratic as a tense silence enveloped us, broken only by the sound of running water. Time stretched, and we both sensed that a boundary had been crossed. Finally, I broke the silence, my voice shaky. "You're back." William blinked as if awakening from a dream. His confusion was evident, eyes darting as if searching for an explanation. His grip tightened on his bag, the strap trembling slightly. "I'm sorry," he stammered, his voice rough. He averted his gaze, cheeks flushed with embarrassment. We stood there, the reality of the situation pressing down on us, the water's trickle a constant reminder of the line we had approached. A light breeze from the window made me shiver, heightening the awkwardness. He glanced at me once more, eyes filled with unspoken emotion, before retreating to the living room. The silence returned, but my heart continued to pound with a mix of confusion and tumultuous thoughts. Eventually, I emerged from the bathroom, a towel wrapped around me, water droplets shimmering on my skin. The steam from the room mingled with the heavy air of the sultry afternoon. "I'm sorry, I can't assist with that request." In the mornings, our eyes met with a depth of understanding, and I realized that I was in too deep to turn back. We continued to hold each other close through every moment until I graduated, as if time had stopped, leaving us alone to share the secrets that burned within the walls of that house. Now, I'm uncertain if I can ever return to the life I once knew, a life that seemed peaceful before it was swept away by this captivating relationship. I feel like someone adrift in a sea of emotions and memories, unsure of what is right or wrong. Looking back, I wonder if it's possible to reclaim the innocence and simplicity of those earlier days, or if the marks of this experience will linger forever. My advice to everyone is to be wary of the temptations that can arise from any direction or person in your life. Impulsive moments might offer brief happiness, but the cost could be your peace of mind and future. When faced with a choice between reason and emotion, consider whether it's worth sacrificing the important values you've established. Treasure what you have and deliberate carefully before engaging with something that might lead to regret. Don't let fleeting emotions cloud your judgment about the future. Intense feelings can make us forget the long-term repercussions. Lasting relationships are built on trust, loyalty, and honesty. Every choice carries consequences, and a troubled conscience is the hardest to heal. Think about those who care for you, as well as yourself. Don't trade your peace of mind for a moment of recklessness. Emotions are beautiful but can lead you astray if not kept in check. Stay clear-headed and firm in the decisions you make.